данном месте собраны патриоты.
This documentary by Russian state media praises a private military company called Wagner. The paramilitary group operating in Ukraine has been getting a lot of positive coverage. All this despite private military organizations being illegal in Russia. Just before the invasion of Ukraine, the Russian president denied any ties. Kyiv has accused Wagner of war crimes. Now, as Moscow loses ground in Ukraine, the company is gaining prominence. News reports and social media accounts show Wagner's men leading attacks in eastern Ukraine, tapping prisoners to fight, and sending threatening messages to the Kremlin's opponents. Here's how the secretive company has come to take on a semi-official role in Ukraine. Formed in 2014 to fight in Ukraine back then, Wagner has since operated in Syria and several African countries. Since the spring, it's been indispensable for Moscow's invasion of Ukraine. That's according to Ukrainian commanders who detected its presence early on. After Russia's main offensive stalled in May, Wagner managed to take the town of Popasna, paving the way for the Russian army to take several strategic cities. Recently, the group has been fighting for the eastern city of Bakhmut. As Wagner slowly advances toward the city, Russian propaganda has been amplifying its importance, anticipating that President Vladimir Putin could tout a rare victory after a series of losses and setbacks. But Wagner's services come at a cost. The group has been losing about 10% to 15% of its fighters on an average mission in Ukraine as dead or wounded. That's according to an estimate by a former Ukrainian intelligence official. Wagner's fighters are paid better than the regular Russian troops, with an advertised starting monthly pay of around $3,500 compared to $2,700 that Moscow pays its soldiers fighting in Ukraine. And recently, the company has resorted to unconventional measures to find new recruits. In September, a video circulating online showed a man recruiting inmates for Wagner in a Russian prison. The news agency Storyful was able to confirm the location. A social media account affiliated with Wagner identified the man as Yevgeny Prigozhin, Wagner's owner and leader. Prigozhin has said he has visited several penal colonies, but he declined to answer our questions on the recruitment of inmates and Wagner's role in the war. Enlisting prisoners comes as Moscow is trying to balance its highly unpopular mobilization efforts with its need for troops. Russian human rights activists estimated that at least 15,000 inmates had been recruited to fight in Ukraine by mid-October. Recruiting inmates has another advantage as the official troops' morale falters. Consequences for refusing to fight are more severe for them. That message was reinforced in November. A Wagner-linked social media account shared a video purporting to show group members killing one of their own with a sledgehammer. The victim had identified himself as a former convict who tried to switch sides and fight for Ukraine. The authenticity of that footage, which we are not showing here, couldn't be verified, but Prigozhin separately said the man was a traitor. Days later, Wagner used a sledgehammer again. This time, the group sent one to the European Parliament after the EU branded Russia a state sponsor of terrorism. The Russian Ministry of Defense didn't respond to our request for comment on Wagner's growing prominence in Ukraine. Wagner's rise comes at a time when nationalist hardliners in Russia are calling for tougher methods to turn the tide in Moscow's favor, and the mercenaries' activities in Ukraine are welcomed by pro-war critics of the Kremlin. Military analysts in the West say the expanded role for an organization accused of war crimes, and one that is recruiting convicted criminals, is a telling indicator of the perilous state of Putin's war machine. In December, Putin said that the military campaign in Ukraine was going well.